welcome to Tech Talk. Today I'm joined by John Piprani, an archaeology technician. So, hi John, can you start by telling us a little bit about how you became a technician at the university?
I did my Masters and then PhD at Manchester, archaeology. And after that, I got some visiting lecturer work at Chester. And in the meantime, I did a little bit of a research project at Manchester. And whilst I was doing that, the temporary role for the technician came up. I applied for it and I was fortunate enough to get it.
So what does your day-to-day job involve?
It's for the job I'm doing, it's changeable on a day-to-day basis, but there is a pattern over the year. So for archaeology, fieldwork's a big part of the process. It obviously happens in the summer, and my main job, or a key part of my job, is to make sure that the equipment, the students, and the transport is all organised for the various fieldwork projects that we run over the summer, usually 3 different ones. And also any students that find their own, making sure that all the logistics for that are correctly organised. So that takes up a large part of the period before the fieldwork starts. On a day-to-day basis, perhaps during term time, it's making sure that my colleagues, my teaching colleagues, have got all the equipment and space that they need to do the teaching. And outside of term time, things like making sure that any equipment that needs replacing is replaced. And because I've been doing the job for 2 years now, I'm still informing myself on some of the equipment that's very rarely used. So educating myself as to what actually a lot of the stuff that I've got responsibility for does. And then if anybody needs to use it, I can show them how to use it.
So do you have direct contact with the students throughout all their work and advise them on it? Or
yeah, and it's very informal, to be honest. I've got essentially, I suppose my role is training as opposed to teaching. So, for example, on field work with survey equipment, I've got the opportunity to break the students down into small groups and go through with each group the process of perhaps using a GPS, for example, what it is, how to assemble it, how to record with it. So on field work, yeah, I've got quite nice opportunities to break the students down and get to know them in smaller groups. During term time, because some of the projects that they do involve equipment, quite often they have to knock on my door so we can have a chat, find out what equipment they need, and get to know them informally. I also do a sort of drop-in because I am an archaeologist as well. My sort of area of knowledge is how to make stone tools. So we have 2 labs and I use them to do a drop-in for anybody who's interested in stone tools and making them. So that's quite popular. And because we do it every week, some people come for a few weeks, other people stick with it. But you get, or I get to know a number of the students through that. So through various avenues, I've probably come into contact with most students face to face. Obviously, I have to email all of them in field work when I'm organising the field work, but face to face, yeah, on field work itself, if I'm working on the same project, during term time when they come to get equipment, and during term time, if any of them are interested in the areas that I'm interested in.
So I believe you're interested in stone tool making and that you run workshops for the undergraduates.
before I started, one of my colleagues had started an experimental archaeology session on a Wednesday afternoon when there's no teaching. But he was more interested in bone working and antler working. So when I started, I'm interested in stone tool making. And it took me a long time to learn, because it's not the kind of thing, it's not the kind of classic night school thing you can go to. And what you tend to do, like most of these bodily skills, you go and, I've been to see these stone tool makers around Britain who do it for a living. And that's really good, but you come back and then you learn stuff, but you don't get to practice it. So I worked out that glass is a really good substitute for flint, and flint's the primary material that we use for stone tools. Northwest of Britain, there's plenty of glass about. So we tend to start off, so when the students come in, we start off with glass because it's a lot easier. And again, we go through the process of making an arrowhead. And in the first session, they get to use all the different tools, in the process of making it. And they come out with something, it's approximately looks like an arrowhead. But they get to come back the week after and the week after that. And slowly but surely, they get better at it. And then when we move on to flint, because flint's, it comes in natural, oddly shaped sizes and shapes. So they need a degree of skill before they get to start working with flint. But if they've been for a few weeks, they've got their head around the tools that they're using and the different techniques, they've got a good chance then of having a go with a piece of flint. Obviously, flint costs money, and we haven't got loads of money. That's it.
Thank you, John. It's been great to chat to you, learn more about how you became a technician and the role you do here at Manchester. We'll meet John again early in the new year when we talk more about the Matterport project, something John has been involved in since the initial lockdown. Goodbye.